Welcome back to The Healthy Way. I am Dr. Stephan. Today we are talking about a topic that gets a lot of attention online and also a lot of confusion. People call it a natural pancreas cleanse. I want to start by being very clear and very respectful to your time and your health. Your pancreas is one of the most important organs in your body. It helps you digest food by releasing enzymes, and it helps regulate blood sugar by producing hormones like insulin and glucagon. When the pancreas is inflamed or damaged, the consequences can be serious. That is why this topic matters. Now, here is the truth. There is no magical drink that scrubs your pancreas clean in a weekend. Your body already has powerful systems for removing waste through the liver, kidneys, lungs, skin, and the digestive tract. When people say cleanse, what they often mean is reducing strain on an organ so it can function better, lowering inflammation triggers, stabilizing blood sugar, and improving digestion. That is the version of this conversation that I support. A home routine that reduces overload and supports your pancreas in realistic ways. So in this video, I will explain what actually stresses the pancreas, what helps it recover and function more smoothly, and what habits can support healthier blood sugar and digestion. We will also talk about warning signs that should never be ignored because this is not the kind of issue you want to gamble with. If you are here because you have symptoms like severe upper abdominal pain that goes through to the back, vomiting, fever, yellowing of the eyes, sudden unexplained weight loss, or new blood sugar problems that feel out of control, please do not rely on home remedies. Those are reasons to get medical care. Home support is for prevention and for better daily function, not for emergencies. What we can do at home is remove the biggest daily stressors. We can reduce heavy saturated fat loads that demand more digestive enzymes. We can reduce frequent sugar spikes that push the pancreas to work overtime. We can work on a healthier body weight and a calmer, more stable eating pattern. We can eliminate alcohol and stop smoking because both are strongly linked to pancreatic damage. We can support digestion with gentle meals and, in some cases, with digestive enzyme support under professional guidance. If that sounds like the grounded version you have been looking for, stay with me. And if you want more practical health guidance without hype, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who needs it, and leave a comment telling me what your main goal is right now. Better digestion, better blood sugar, or better energy. Let us talk about what the pancreas actually does, because when you understand the job, the support becomes obvious. The pancreas has two main roles. One role is digestive. When you eat, your pancreas releases enzymes into the small intestine to help break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. If that system struggles, people can feel bloating, gas, burping, heaviness after meals, and stools that look greasy or float more than usual. That is not always the pancreas, but it can be a clue that digestion is not running smoothly. The second role is blood sugar regulation. When you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. The pancreas responds by releasing insulin to help move sugar from the bloodstream into the cells. When someone eats frequent high-sugar meals and snacks, the pancreas is forced into constant high output. Over time, the body can become more resistant to insulin, which makes the pancreas work even harder. This is one reason why blood sugar stability matters for pancreatic support. So what does a so-called cleanse mean in a healthy, realistic sense? It means giving the pancreas fewer reasons to overwork. It means creating a daily rhythm where the pancreas can respond to meals without constant emergency spikes. It means choosing foods that are easier to digest and building a pattern that digest and will me a pattern that lowers inflammation and supports a healthier metabolic state. The biggest daily strain for many people comes from a combination of ultra-processed food, high saturated fat meals, frequent sugar intake, and alcohol. When fat intake is very heavy, the pancreas has to release more enzymes. When sugar intake is frequent, the pancreas has to release more insulin. When alcohol is present, the pancreas can become irritated and inflamed, and the risk of pancreatitis increases. When smoking is present, the risk rises further. That is why any real pancreas support plan must address those triggers. You may have heard that the pancreas can regenerate if you drink certain juices. The reality is more nuanced. The pancreas can recover from stress when the triggers are removed, especially in early stages of dysfunction. But recovery is not a quick detox. It is a pattern of consistent choices. Think of it like sleep. You cannot fix a year of poor sleep with one nap. But you can change your sleep pattern and your body responds. The same idea applies here. So in the next parts, I am going to walk you through the most effective home approach. It is not glamorous. It is not extreme. It is simple, structured, and sustainable. And it is the kind of approach that supports not only the pancreas, but also your liver, heart, gut, and overall energy. Heavy fried foods, fast food, processed meats, creamy sauces, and repeated high-fat meals can create a constant high demand for digestive enzymes. Many people do better when they reduce huge portions. Eating until you are overfueled is a direct way to increase digestive strain. You may also hear claims that dairy is always inflammatory and should be avoided by everyone. The truth is personal. Some people tolerate dairy well. Some people do not. If dairy gives you bloating, mucus sensation, reflux, or skin flares, then reducing it may help you. But if you tolerate it and you choose simpler forms, it may not be a problem. What matters most for pancreatic support is avoiding heavy, greasy, sugary patterns that demand constant high output. If you want to make your pancreas happier, make digestion easier. Reduce the heavy loads. Reduce the big swings. Give your body meals that it can process without stress. Now we need to talk about sugar, because this is one of the biggest daily drivers of pancreatic stress. Every time you consume a concentrated sugar hit, the pancreas has to respond by producing insulin. Insulin is not the enemy. Insulin is essential. The problem is constant demand. If you drink sweet coffee drinks, snack on candies, eat desserts daily, or graze on refined carbs all day, your pancreas is being asked to respond repeatedly without rest. When people think of a pancreas cleanse, what they often need is a blood sugar stability plan. Not a juice cleanse, not a fast that makes you dizzy, but a calm routine where meals are balanced and sugar is not the constant center of the day. A helpful way to picture this is to imagine your pancreas as a person working a job. If the workload is steady and predictable, the person performs well. If the workload is non-stop emergencies, the person burns out. Blood sugar spikes are those emergencies. When you reduce them, you reduce the pressure. What reduces spikes is not only cutting sugar, it is also eating meals with balance. Protein and fiber slow digestion and blunt the speed of sugar absorption. Whole foods tend to enter the bloodstream more slowly than ultra-processed foods. Even when you eat carbohydrates, the form matters. A bowl of whole oats behaves differently than a sweet pastry. A piece of whole fruit behaves differently than fruit juice. Now I want to speak directly to people who have prediabetes or diabetes. Please do not treat this video like medical management. If you are on medications, especially insulin or drugs that can lower blood sugar, any change in diet can change your numbers. Monitor your glucose and talk with your clinician about your plan. The goal is stability and safety. If you want a simple home routine that supports the pancreas, focus on reducing added sugar and reducing frequent snacking on refined carbs. Try to make meals more structured so the pancreas is not constantly trying to manage chaos, and be mindful of liquid sugars. Sugary drinks are one of the fastest ways to spike glucose. This is also where people fall into the trap of thinking they should drink large amounts of fruit juice for cleansing. Fruit has nutrients and fiber when eaten whole, but fruit juice concentrates sugar and removes much of the fiber. For someone trying to support blood sugar and pancreatic function, that is not the direction you want to go. So the core idea is simple: fewer sugar spikes, fewer emergency insulin demands. Over time, this supports better insulin sensitivity and takes pressure off the pancreas. So I want to speak about it with respect. More protein at meals, better sleep, regular movement. Even moderate weight reduction can improve insulin sensitivity in many people. That means less insulin demand and less strain. You may hear that certain popular diets are the best for everyone. The reality is that people respond differently. Some people do well with a lower carbohydrate approach. Some people do well with a Mediterranean-style pattern that includes healthy fats and whole grains. What matters is the quality of the food, the consistency, and the ability to maintain it without feeling punished. If your goal is to support the pancreas, avoid the pattern of huge meals, long fasting followed by binge eating, and constant snacking. Those patterns create swings. Instead, aim for balanced meals that keep you steady. If you struggle with late-night eating, that can be a powerful lever to change, because late-night high-sugar and high-fat meals tend to produce the worst blood sugar response. Movement also matters. When muscles are active, they use glucose more efficiently. That can reduce the demand for insulin. You do not need an extreme workout routine. A daily walk after meals can be very helpful for blood sugar control. That is a simple home strategy that supports the pancreas directly through improved glucose handling. So if you want the most realistic version of a pancreas cleanse, it is not a drink. It is a pattern that reduces insulin resistance and reduces digestive overload. That pattern often includes gradual weight improvement, not through extremes, but through steady habits that you can keep. Now we need to be direct about alcohol and smoking, because these are two of the most powerful risk factors for pancreatic damage. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. If you want to protect your pancreas, reducing alcohol and quitting smoking are among the most effective steps you can take. Alcohol can irritate the pancreas and is a major cause of pancreatitis. Pancreatitis is inflammation of the pancreas, and it can be severe. Some cases become chronic, and chronic inflammation can lead to long-term digestive enzyme problems and blood sugar problems. That is why alcohol is not a small detail in this conversation. It is central. Smoking is also linked with pancreatic damage and increased risk of pancreatic cancer. Many people think of smoking as a lung issue only, but it affects blood vessels, inflammation, and multiple organs. If you smoke, quitting is one of the strongest investments you can make in your future health. If you are working on quitting, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not have to do it perfectly. You need a plan and support. Speak with a healthcare professional about resources that can help you quit safely and successfully. Now let us talk about the idea of the pancreas needing rest. Rest in this context means fewer toxins that irritate the organ, fewer digestive overload meals, and fewer constant insulin demands. Alcohol and smoking are irritants that do not belong in a pancreas support plan. If someone is trying to cleanse the pancreas but still drinking heavily or smoking, the foundation is missing. I also want to say something for people who have occasional alcohol and think it does not matter. The effect depends on the person, the amount, and the history. If you have had pancreatitis before, alcohol can be especially risky. If you have high triglycerides, alcohol can raise them further, which also increases pancreatitis risk. So this is not only about willpower, it is about risk management. If your goal is a natural approach at home, start with the biggest levers. Remove what harms the pancreas. Build what supports it. You do not need dozens of supplements to do that. You need a clear plan and consistency. If you are listening and thinking this feels overwhelming, take it one step at a time. Choose one change you can do this week, then build on it. The pancreas responds to the environment you create. Make the environment calmer, and it will function better. Let us talk about supportive foods and drinks that can fit into a pancreas-friendly routine, including the popular idea of a daily juice. Some people talk about blending papaya, green apple, celery, and ginger. Here is my honest take. Those ingredients can be part of a healthy routine because they contain hydration, vitamins, and plant compounds. Papaya contains enzymes that help break down protein, and some people find it supports digestion. Ginger can help with nausea and has anti-inflammatory properties. Celery adds hydration and potassium. Green apple adds fiber when eaten whole and can be a refreshing option. But I want you to understand what that drink can and cannot do. It does not regenerate the pancreas in a miraculous way. It can support a healthier overall pattern if it replaces something harmful. If that juice replaces a sugary soda, that is a win. If it replaces a sweet pastry breakfast, that is a win. If it becomes another sugary drink consumed on top of an already high sugar day, that is not a win. This is especially important for people with blood sugar concerns. Juicing removes much of the fiber and concentrates sugar. If you are trying to reduce insulin demand, a better approach can be blending whole ingredients and keeping the fiber, or choosing a smaller portion and pairing it with protein. If you want the benefits of fruit without the spike, eating fruit whole is often a smarter option. You can also support digestion with simple cooking choices. Cooked vegetables are often easier to digest than large amounts of raw vegetables for some people. Smaller portions can reduce digestive strain. Chewing thoroughly matters more than most people realize. Rushing meals can worsen bloating and discomfort. Some people consider digestive enzyme supplements. These can be helpful in specific cases, especially when someone has documented pancreatic enzyme insufficiency. But supplements should be chosen carefully and ideally with professional guidance. Do not self-diagnose serious pancreatic issues and treat them with enzymes from the internet. A natural pancreas support plan should look like a calm day of eating. Balanced meals, moderate portions, less sugar, less fried fat, more hydration, more movement. No alcohol, no smoking. This is not flashy, but it is powerful. If you want a simple takeaway from this part, it is this. Choose foods that make digestion easier and blood sugar steadier. Drinks and recipes can be helpful, but only when they serve the bigger pattern. Now let us bring everything together and close with a plan that is realistic and safe. When people ask for a natural pancreas cleanse at home, what they are really asking is how to reduce strain and support function. The pancreas thrives when digestion is not overloaded, when blood sugar is not spiking constantly, and when irritants like alcohol and smoking are removed. So your home approach is not about a dramatic purge. It is about creating a calm environment. That means meals that are not heavy in fried fats and saturated fats every day. That means reducing added sugar and reducing liquid sugars that spike glucose fast. That means working toward a healthier body weight through sustainable habits, not extremes. That means daily movement, especially walking after meals, because it supports blood sugar control. And it means avoiding alcohol and smoking, which are major risk factors for pancreatitis and pancreatic damage. It also means knowing when this is beyond home care. If you have severe abdominal pain, persistent vomiting, fever, jaundice, unexplained weight loss, or sudden worsening blood sugar, do not try to cleanse at home. Get medical care. Your pancreas is not something to gamble with. If you want to try a supportive reset, keep it simple. Make your meals easier to digest. Keep your day structured. Hydrate well. Sleep. Move. And if you want to include a digestive-friendly smoothie or a whole food blend, do it in a way that supports blood sugar stability, not in a way that adds more sugar load. Now I want to hear from you. What brought you to this topic today? Was it digestion issues, blood sugar concerns, or general prevention? Leave a comment and tell me what you want to improve most and what you struggle with most: cravings, late-night eating, alcohol, or portion sizes. If you found this helpful, subscribe to The Healthy Way so you do not miss the next video. Share this with someone you care about, because pancreas health is rarely discussed until it becomes a crisis, and I want more people to protect it before that happens. I am Dr. Stephan, and I will see you in the next one.